The Falling Devil is the newest devil to be introduced in Chainsaw Man, and the second of the series' primal fears. Although it may be a little early to say so, but I do already believe the Falling Devil will be one of the most thematically important devils in all of Chainsaw Man. And if you want to know what I mean by this, then keep watching the video. If you find yourself entertained at any point during the video, then consider liking, subscribing and ringing that bell, as I cannot explain to you how much just a small action can do for this channel. And if you want to support this channel even further, then perhaps check out my Patreon. Anyway, on with the video. Much like how Makima the Control Devil was the ultimate antagonist for Denji, a person chained down by the control of those above him, the Falling Devil is similarly an incredible antagonist for Asa to face. As although you may not have noticed it, falling is one of the most reoccurring aspects of her character. Remember in chapter 1 of part 2, How Does Bucky Die? By Asa falling on him. We also have her falling during the birthday party, also during the relay race, when being chased by the Bat Devil, and the biggest example, her falling while trying to save her cat from Typhoon, resulting in the death of her mother. She is a person who quite literally falls a lot. However, there is more than one meaning to falling. In the same way darkness also encompasses the fear of the unknown and Cosmo represents overwhelming knowledge, falling also may represent the fear of falling into despair. And well, is there a phrase that better fits Asa? Falling themselves says,
"The lower the heart sinks, the higher the body falls. That's the concept of this dish. May the flavor of past traumas delight your taste buds."
This ability targets only those with past trauma, those whose heart fell into despair. Which is why Asa is affected, as she is someone haunted by her past. She has fallen at every step of her life, and although she has gotten up every time, she still drags behind the memories of those falls and the despair she feels as a result. Bucky's death is a great example. She spent the first half of the chapter hating on her classmates for being friends with a devil because her parents died by devil, but she comes to realise that that isn't the case, that she is just jealous of them. And then as soon as she tries to overcome her fears and tries to be social, to act on her envy in a positive way, she falls and makes the rift between her and her classmates even wider. I mean, after this incident, Asa even describes how if someone had to jump off a roof and die, it would be her, which again ties very deeply into the concept of falling, and how in her mind she conceptualizes her problems as falling. But the key thing Asa says later in chapter 102 is that even if she messes up and falls, she wants to keep going knowing she did the right thing in her heart. Basically, she will fall, but she will get back up. Falling is a devil that makes you fall forever, all the way till you end up down in hell. So Asa will prove that a fall isn't the end and will get back up, knowing she is doing the right thing. Denji's biggest flaw in part 1 was that he was a dog. He was a dog to the Yakuza, a dog to public safety, and a dog to Makima. He had to break free of those chains and become a free person who is able to do whatever he wants, and live however he wants. His defeat of the Control Devil and her chains is symbolic of this. He stops being a dog and becomes a person. Asa then will likely undergo a similar arc. She will either overcome her habit of falling, or more likely in my opinion, will stop associating falling as being a bad thing. She will instead just look at it as a learning experience. Devils gain their power from fear, so if Asa grows to no longer fear falls, then she will be able to overcome falling as there is nothing to fear from a little fall. And another fun thing I want to bring up, which was pointed out by Degenamites on Reddit, is how the natural enemy of the Falling Devil is a cat. Since you know, cats always land on their feet. And although at first this does sound a little far-fetched, I do think there might be some truth to this. I mean, it's not like we got another flashback to Crambon in the most recent chapter or anything. And well, overall, cats are incredibly symbolic in Chainsaw Man. Remember how in part 1 Denji was represented by a dog because he was controlled and he was obedient. And while that was contrasted with Power, who was represented by a cat, she was a free spirit and she is associated with cats, mainly Meowie. Denji, in order to become free and to defeat Makima, needed the love of Power, her connections of friendship and love that countered Makima's connection through control and domination. He went from a dog to a cat, from controlled to free, which is why the first time we see him in part 2, he is saving a cat. And well, since cats are free, then maybe cats can also free Asa of her baggage, of her trauma, as well. Even if a cat falls into despair, they will still land on their feet. I don't know if Asa will use Crambon's corpse to make a cat weapon, or just the memories of her childhood cat will help save her, but I'm very confident cats will play at least some role in Asa overcoming her fear of falls and coming out on top against the Falling Devil. And well, this is just some very shaky speculation, but maybe the next primal fear to rock up could be the Drowning Devil, since Cranbon, drowned, and Asa is drowning in her sorrows. Just a thought. And do remember, this video was recorded before the release of chapter 124, so if that chapter proves everything I say in this video completely wrong, then good job Fujimoto, you bamboozled me. And if you want to go the extra mile in supporting this channel, then consider pledging to my Patreon, where for as little as £2.75 a month, you can get your name at the end of the video, like Hikari Desu, 7SO, Ringjack9696, Dewey, and General Tonyos. So with all that said and done, I've been Seth the Sin, the Deadly Sin of Geek, and I'm signing out. Stay safe, everyone.